When I was in prison, I had to create ways to stay motivated and disciplined as those days turn into weeks, weeks turn into months, months into years, and years into decades. The tool that I use is an accountability metric. And it was always a cause of stress while I was incarcerated because the prison system would not allow my sisters to send in these journals that people take for granted out here. So, you know what I'm talking about. It's a day timer. It starts off with January 1st, ends on December the 31st. And in those pages, I would be able to write, what am I doing throughout the day? And I found this to be really helpful when in all of my work to keep track of my day, not only because I wanted to make sure that I was being productive while I was inside, but also because I wanted to use these as a tool that would help me bring more people into my life. When there was nothing I could do about the past, I had made really bad decisions as a young man, and I knew that people would always judge me for those bad decisions unless I did something about it. So at the beginning of the year, I would always, well, actually around November of the year, I'd start asking my sister to send me in these journals, and it would have a real tough time getting it through the mailroom because they would consider something like that, a journal, crazy as it may be, as being contraband, as being something that interferes with security of the institution. I guess they didn't want people writing what they observed inside of a prison environment. So some years I was successful in getting it in. Some years I had to make it on my own, and anybody can do it. I just take a piece of blank paper. I would draw seven squares or blocks on it, and then I would take it and to a copy machine and copy it 52 times, and then by hand I would write out the day, the day of the week, the day of the month, and then every day I would define what I accomplished towards the goals that I set. So remember earlier, I'd always define what am I going to do during this given period of time while I'm in prison. And there were different stages. The things that I had to do at the beginning stage of my journey were different from what I had to do at the ending stage of my journey. It's the same thing out here. But out here, we've got much better tools. For one, I don't have pure prison administrators blocking my mail and determining what I'm going to be able to take in. Out here, though, I have these other tools that I can invite anybody to hold me accountable because I say that I'm going to produce this content every day, and this is what's going to change how the world sees me. So if you Google my name, for example, Michael Santos, you don't see what I didn't control, what I didn't put forth. Because I'm consistently putting out content that I hope will teach and inspire the people that I serve, I can show them I'm not asking you to do anything that I'm not personally doing. So how can I verify it? Well, the latest tool that I just started using, and I'm only on day 6, is this Facebook Live presentation. Facebook Live is really awesome because it can show you what time did I start working in the morning. Today it is 4:14 on April the 18th. It is the 6th day that I've been doing this, but everybody can look at those days before and say, I'm working every day. When I say that I work 7 days a week, I'm not pretending. I'm actually working 7 days a week. Why? Because if I want to accomplish the goals that I've set out to accomplish, I know that I have to work consistently. I have to be extremely deliberate. I have to say, I am going to achieve something. And it's going to be with intention. It's going to be with a direct focus on what I'm aspiring to achieve. Right now, I'm aspiring to build a digital business that will help me connect with more people. And some of the people that try to connect with are direct consumers, and I'll explain about how I'm using my time to do that. Some of the people I strive to connect with are clients, businesses that I can produce this content for because they don't have the time or the resources to do it on their own. And I'm going to speak a little bit about that today because it's so relevant to have an accountability metric that measures this progress. So in prison, all that I had was this journal. But because I kept that journal, I was able to always stay focused on, in the beginning, working to get my academic credentials. Initially, it was to get into an undergraduate school. So I had to keep track of how many letters did I write to schools, seeing who would admit me. Then when I was in school, I had to keep track of, what assignments I completed, because you have to stay motivated in there. If you don't stay focused on what you're going to want to accomplish, you end up just wasting time, and the time becomes much harder. But I have always found that if you could work towards something meaningful and measurable, you can restore confidence, you can be deliberate, you can achieve goals that other people don't think are possible, because it's just like a little bit. I mean, you've heard this analogy about how ants can build these molehills, but it's because thousands of ants are working together all at the same time. They're all working towards the same goal. They're all working towards the same end. Well, is if you use every hour of your day and every day of your week and every week of your month to achieve something, to work towards something that's meaningful to you, not necessarily to me. Like, it may not be meaningful to anybody else that I'm creating this daily journal, but I know that I'll be able to use it when I'm standing in front of a stage or I'm working directly with a consulting client, and I'll be able to take them back and I say, "Do you see when I did this? Do you see that it didn't happen by accident? Do you see that that the success came as a result of this and a result of this and a result of this?" Yesterday I spoke about getting married. I said I didn't just fortunately get married while I'm living in a community of men locked away, and was able to bring the love of my life into my world, nurture a relationship, fall in love, get married, support her, create revenues, build a plan, and build a future. All of that happened because I was very methodical and very deliberate in getting through every day. And the journals helped me accomplish that. Just like this Facebook Live is one tool that is helping me accomplish that. Another tool that's helping me accomplish that is iTunes. You can turn to our Prison Professor's iTunes page and see how much content is he putting out there. I can look at my YouTube channel. How much content am I putting out there? That's all free. That's all the work that I am doing to prepare for the other work. And in order to do all of this work, I need tools. I need to devote time. I need to devote energy. More importantly, I just have to be consistent. Just like you have to be consistent if you want to be resilient. If you want to overcome struggles or challenges, you have to figure out, what can I do with my time today to position myself for success tomorrow? I um, Yesterday I had to use this accountability metric because I know, okay, I've been testing things, been testing new business ventures, new ideas, new things that I can do. And one of them has to do with the COVID pandemic. Right now, you know that it's afflicting our world, and although we may be making progress towards slowing down, I guess, the proliferation of this virus, um, it's still a threat, and it's a huge threat to people in prison. And people in prison are really a source of concern for me. I mean, you can't do 26 years in prison and not be concerned with how that system operates. So I wanted to help people in prison understand, what can they be doing to work towards getting out, going to home confinement. What can they be doing towards that end? Well, the Attorney General published a memorandum on April the 3rd indicating that the Bureau of Prisons should be transitioning more people from prison to home confinement. The problem is, you still got to work with the Bureau of Prisons. So on our various websites, I started producing a series of content that would help people understand the problem. But then I wanted them to understand, well, if I were in there, what would I be doing during this time? In what ways would I be using the resources and the tools that I have to forge my way to an opportunity to get out, to come to home confinement? And it's really just about advocacy. It's really just about helping somebody understand the story and why you're a worthy candidate. And you've got to be in a position to seize initiatives when those initiatives come. There's an initiative right now. The Attorney General has done something that's rather historic, which is directing the Bureau of Prisons to let people out to serve the remainder of their term on home confinement. The problem is you still have case managers and unit managers and wardens that are really conditioned to say no. So it requires some advocacy on the outside to help accelerate the process. So I created a course, and I had to use a lot of tools to create this course, right? I had to learn how to record videos. I had to learn how to articulate a message. I had to learn how to teach somebody how to go someplace. I had to learn how to use technology so that I could show them in a real-time example of what to do. And then I had to put it on a website, build a system in place that somebody could register to get into it, create a payment processing link for them to go through it. And then I had to create advertising and marketing that would drive people to that page. And we've been live for a couple of weeks now, and the page has been, doing well. It's been growing, and I've been learning, and I've been iterating, meaning redoing it, redesigning it. So yesterday I redesigned the entire process so that people could go through it for free if they want to do it, do it yourself. And so I'm just always building and holding myself accountable. And that's what I would encourage you to do. If you want to achieve a higher level of success in your life, if you want to overcome a bit of struggle that you have to deal with, if you want to earn more capital or create more career opportunities or build a better fit, become more fit or build a better relationship with your family or with your wife or with your loved ones, think about a methodical strategy that you can use and then pursue, build your own accountability metric that is going to help you stay on track, that's going to help you stay the course, that's going to help you stay disciplined and motivated and inspired, even as time goes on, and even if nobody else is paying attention. That's how I had to live for a long time. Nobody knew the amount of work that I had to do when I was in prison in order to become a published author. Nobody knew the amount of work that I had to do in prison because they're not living with me. I'm really confined in my own environment. And so that's what I would encourage you to do. Don't live for somebody else, live for yourself, set very clear goals, but then create an accountability metric that you can use and keep track of. And I'm finding that Facebook Live is one way that I have to do it, because if I don't produce this video, I know that I'm going to see a news feed that doesn't include it, which is going to say I failed. And I'm not going to say I won't fail. I am going to say that if I do fail, I'm going to have a tool that will get me back up, get back on the track, let people see what I'm doing. I can tell you that yesterday I had an extremely productive day, starting about the same time at 4 in the morning. Published all of these videos that I needed, created that entire project that I told you about, and still had time to get on my treadmill and run and watch a video course that would teach me a little bit about email marketing. So just learning all the time, striving to be productive, and as a result of that work, I am continuing to create value, not only for myself, but also for others. I hope for the clients that I serve, and I hope for you as well. So just wanted to share this brief video. I've got to get back to work right now because of the work that I did yesterday resulted in a sale of more than $1,000, and now I have to fulfill that order. So I've got a lot of work, and I wish you success and a productive weekend as well. Thank you for sticking with me. And if you are sticking with me, if not, this will be a great record of what I'm going to do in the days, weeks, months, and years to come. Thank you.